In an effort to strengthen self-reliance, the Chinese Communist Party's new economic policy is calling for a unified domestic market. The document mapped out the creation of the mega project on Sunday. Let's take a look at what it actually is and if it could signal whether Beijing is preparing for war.
In a bid to make Chinese economy less dependent on the outside world, Beijing unveiled a new plan. That is, building a so-called unified domestic market for the country.
This is a landmark action by the Chinese Communist Party. In other words, the CCP not only proposed political challenges to the ideology and social system of the West, now, economically, it's putting together its own so-called CCP plan.
According to guidelines released Sunday by the Chinese Communist Party, the Unified Domestic Market Plan aims to promote more regulations, from China's domestic production to resource use. That would cover a number of areas, like energy, data, and technology. The new strategy also looks to break down local protectionism and eliminate other obstacles that prevent domestic markets from working efficiently. In China, local protectionism refers to regional blockades and restrictions on the flow of goods. They're usually part of efforts by city or province-level officials to protect locally based industries. But China affairs analyst Tang says that's only on the surface level.
It actually aims to create a unified market to ensure the CCP is in charge of everything. So the CCP is able to participate in the entire process of any commodity, from its production to its circulation, to its access to the market, and to its final consumption.
According to Tang, there's another, more realistic purpose at present. The CCP wants to resolve China's current economic dilemma. Recently, a series of strict lockdowns in large Chinese cities have started piling pressure onto the domestic production sector. On top of that, Russia's invasion of Ukraine is adding to China's supply chain disruptions, as well as shortages of critical resources like food and energy. For Beijing, the global economic sanctions against Moscow levied over its invasion may serve as a cautionary tale. In an interview on Monday, a Communist Party official told China's state-run media agency that speeding up building a national unified market is a realistic need of achieving scientific and technological self-reliance.
The CCP may be preparing for the future. For example, Taiwan. If it invades Taiwan, it will likely face similar or even tougher sanctions than Russia today. Then it must minimize the negative impact of these sanctions. That's why it must build a self-sufficient and self-reliant internal economic circulation model.
But as the world's second-largest economy pivots inward, how will China's shift impact the rest of the globe?
This will definitely deepen the gap between the two primary models, the market economy and the planned economy. In other words, this will add to the duality of the world, not just on a political level, but also in the economic sphere.
Tang adds that Beijing's unified domestic market strategy is nothing new. It essentially follows the same structure as a centrally planned economy. The Chinese communist regime introduced that model in the past to fight Western capitalism. And as the unified domestic market comes into place, China may return to its old habits.
Another comment from China's Premier Li Keqiang during the same meeting also garnered public attention. Some Chinese-language media outlets even used it in an eye-catching headline, reading, "Li Keqiang encourages everyone to speak the truth." Li makes the remark during talks with entrepreneur representatives. A media outlet questioned why Li made the statement, noting that in China, telling the truth often requires courage and may involve risking loss of employment or even jail time.